we are striking, in a nutshell, for fair and equal pay, and for against really a massive increase in workloads, and against the casualization of labor that we can see happening across the HE sector.
What have your students had to say about it?
I think students are broadly supportive. Obviously, not all of them are. I think the National Union of Students is supportive, and our student union, our university, has been supporting us. I think it is really tough for students because, of course, they bear the brunt of it. You know, they're the ones that are losing teaching, their student experience is being affected by this. However, the point we're really trying to drive home is that our working conditions equal the students' learning conditions. So if our working conditions are not good, that is going to affect the students negatively, because we're going to be overworked, we're going to be underpaid, we're going to struggle to do our work in the best way that we possibly can, and therefore the students are going to suffer.
I've been teaching in higher education in the UK for just over 10 years, and I've really noticed the deterioration in our working conditions, and of course what that means is also deterioration in the learning conditions for students. You know, and I'm really notice how that affects the students' lives, and so I'm here for us but also for them, of course.
Can I ask you in layman's terms, what does that look like, that deterioration?
So I'll give you an example, right? So I love teaching. I love, the being in the classroom. And a few years ago, I was nominated by students for an award for most inspirational teaching in the whole of the university. I got the award. I was very happy. And I was called in by my head of department at the time to say that this was a problem for the department, that I'd won this award, because if I was giving students inspirational teaching, then that got them excited and they wanted more and better teaching. So they would get less satisfied with the other teaching they were receiving. So could I please just give satisfying teaching but not inspirational teaching? So that's a very good example to me about how the focus of contemporary higher education really isn't where it should be.
I'm here to fight for better working conditions, for our pensions and for our dignity.
And why do you think that so many people have come out today in support of that?
Because we really are all at breaking point, and that's really felt across the whole sector. So it's a very powerful, we all feel very much for it.
How have your students responded to it?
I think my students support us. I think they might be sometimes a little bit scared to join movements and so on, but I think they support us.
I'm here to support the teachers because I see that their working conditions are intolerable. They face precarious working conditions, a 30% cut to pensions. I think as students it's our duty to sympathise and support this struggle. As a young person, I see that capitalism, the system we live in, offers no bright future at all. How am I supposed to buy a home? How am I supposed to find a stable life under this system? I see it's impossible. So I'm determined, along with Socialist Appeal and the international Marxist tendency I represent, I'm determined to bring an end to this system, to abolish the capitalist system and establish in its place a planned economy democratically controlled by the workers for the workers.
The thing is, for students, just like for staff, you're so busy with the everyday hustle and bustle that you're worried about your exam, your assessment, your deadline, and it's harder to see that bigger picture. So what we're trying to do, what I try to do with students in the classroom is think, okay, there's discomfort or disruption now, but look at the bigger picture of what kind of education you'd be receiving if we had a different higher education sector. And so, but most of them are very, very supportive because they understand, certainly sociology students understand that this, in society as well as universities, is a time of great difficulty and hopefully great change.
Today I'm striking, as most of our colleagues from our department and overall from the UK in the higher education sector, and we are striking for our pensions and for our better pay.
How have your students responded to it?
The students were really supportive. I had to cancel three lectures, and I got emails saying they support us, they know how bad the situation is. So I feel I'm in a good situation here.
That's interesting, because most of the press you read, it'll say that the students are quite upset about it. Why do you think the press paint it in that way?
Because of course right now we are part of a bigger movement for social reform in this country, and some of the presses don't like this, so I think that's what's happening.
I'm going to ask you a stupid question. Why won't they like that?
I mean, because there is the government is not in support of giving higher pay to workers, and this is, yeah, it's very important right now.
You've got a young baby with you. Is this your baby?
I've got my 8-week-old baby with me, yes.
How have the pay and conditions affected you?
The pay conditions affecting me by just, I'm the main income for our family, and if they get worse, it means I'll be working more, and I want to be able to work, have a work-life balance where I have a baby, be a mom, and be a lecturer and do the research I like without having to be working like crazy or not taking time out that I want to have with my child, and still be enjoying my job.
How do your students feel about the strikes?
I haven't been able to talk to my students because I'm on mat leave. I'm actually here from mat leave to support the strike.
We have been undergoing policies of austerity for over 12 years, and these have been affecting workers across different sectors. And you can see it now with workers striking across different industries. I mean, the nurses are going on strike. I mean, this is unprecedented. So it's quite clear that the policies that we've been subjected to are not working. They're not working for us. They're not working for many people across different industries. And so that, you know, we're not here to skive off. We're not here to, we love our job. We want to work. We want to be put in conditions to do our work well. And at the moment, we are not. And this needs to change.
Here today on the third day of our strike action with UCU, rising up on pay and pensions, and really that our working conditions are our students' learning conditions. So we've been here, this is just the end of a massive rally here in London where we have called together members from across the country. I've come down from Leicester, I've got coaches that came in from all over, you've seen the banners up. And so these are our members coming together to demonstrate their support and solidarity for education as a social good, for workers being treated fairly, and money being spent on people and on the primary business of the university, which is learning, teaching, and research, and not on shiny buildings, vanity projects, and executive salaries. That is not where student fees should be going. So we are here trying to tip that balance. We are working to bring our employers to the table. Last year we were in dispute. They would not even negotiate, would not go near it with a 10-foot pole. Our mandate that we have for strike action, which includes 150 universities in this country, massive, unprecedented in education, we've brought them to the table, and UCIA, the national organization, is negotiating with us today. So we are already seeing the benefits and the wins of this campaign. We will continue rising with UCU, we will continue fighting, and we will keep up the pressure. So today's been a really joyful, a really, I think, it's really kind. Like, it's lovely seeing people, really kind of meaningful, I think, connection for so many of our members. Our bosses try to divide us, and we will insist on coming together joyfully, passionately, and angrily in support of the things we care about.